Hello, my friends, and welcome to another Watch with Ray, with me, Ray. I know, pretty ingenious title there. So we're here to watch me talk about the third episode of the fourth season. I've had to do this before, and I haven't even been drinking. Of Miss Scarlet and the Duke. So this episode is called Origins. I wonder Hawaii. It's Hawaii is because we now, okay, so to get you caught up on last week's episode, Will has been shot and he is in hospital and they don't think he's going to make it. So, when we open, we see that Eliza is constantly at the hospital. She's become a fixture there. She's there to take, like all the nurses are taking care of him. She's coming every day to sit with him because they keep saying that like her talking to him is good for him. Like he'll remember things quickly. So, she began to talk because the whole time. So if you remember from like even the first season, like the first couple of episodes, Will says something. Oh no, it's the first episode. Because Will says something to her, alludes to this kiss they had when they were young. Guess what we're gonna get in this episode? And it's excellent. So she starts talking about that, like about when they met. And so this whole episode is literally like the days in which they met. And so we go to they say what year? I think it's like 1850s maybe, because I think Mr. Scarlet said he has been on the force for like 15-20 years by this point, because if you remember, Mr. Scarlet was a police detective first, then retired to become a private detective, and then he was murdered. So we see an adorable, I'm trying to find his name because he plays a really amazing, that's young Rupert. Let's see. Laura Marcus plays young Eliza. And we've got William the Duke, young Matt Olson. They're both fantastic as the younger counterparts of Eliza and the Duke. But Will's coming from Glasgow. He's been discharged from a workhouse there. He's in London, penniless. He hasn't eaten for days. He's starved. He, in fact, steals a pie, ends up throwing it up. I don't know if it's because it's just not good or if it's because he just hasn't eaten and he's starved. And you know how if you eat too much, you end up puking. You end up being ill. So he kind of settles into he becomes one of he's looking for a place to land right now, and right now it's in the corner of an alleyway. So he's trying to just find some sleep, just to be able to get to sleep a couple hours, because you can't sleep at night because someone will come and steal your shit. It's great. It's great time to be alive then, right? And so the dogs have decided to start fighting. Please go away. So while he's trying to fall asleep, he hears two men struggling, and one pushes another one against a wall and strangles him to death. And so we have a dead body. William does the right thing and goes and reports the death, reports the murder. But he reports the death. He reports the body, but he doesn't say he saw anything. Well, Henry knows what's up, and so he's the detective on site, and he actually knows the victim. The victim was a policeman who was a policeman who now has become his own private detective. So foreshadowing what's going to happen to Henry. So Henry's trying to question him, well, did you see anything? And William, nope, nothing, nope. You found the body. That's all. I'm out of here. And so Henry sees that William is starving. He's a teenager, he's 16 or something, and he has no place to go. So he's like, I think more flies with honey. Why don't you come home with me? Here's some money to go clean yourself up. we're gonna, at least you'll have a roof over your head for tonight. And he's like, you just trying to butter me up so I'll talk? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely, that's what I'm fucking doing. And it's kind of like William's like, respect. Yeah, cool. And plus he gets a meal out of it. And who knows, like, he doesn't know how long he can maybe get, because he's starting to really appreciate and respect Henry, by seeing, like, he's a good policeman, that he is, like, an honest and good, like, non-corruptible policeman. So they go to the home, they go home. In the meantime, Ivy's coming back home from doing her, like, daily shopping or whatever, and there's Eliza. There's young Eliza. Again, I said her name was Laura Marcus. Fantastic. Like, down to the facial expressions that they do. Laura Marcus is fantastic as a young Eliza, and she's been thrown out of her boarding house again, or her school again. And she's at training college, what they call it. This is the second time for her. Like, they're like, pretty much, if she does it again, they're not taking her back. And she knows that Henry's going to be very angry that she's home again, because he's kind of like, you need to grow up. You need to become an adult. You need to become a woman. Like, you're going to eventually have to become, like, a mother and take care of a house. And I know you don't like these things that you're learning, and because she's headstrong and she wants to be a detective. Like, even young, we knew that from the first season when we got to see some of her, like, remembering back on, like, growing up with Henry. We could see that she wants to become a detective. Like, come on, girl, you just fucking get it. You're super smart. But she's just as headstrong as a 14-year-old or however young she is. I think she's only maybe a year or so younger than. So she's like 14-year-old, as opposed to like just like William. I mean, she's just as headstrong. She's just as headstrong as a 14-year-old as she is, however old she is in the show. I don't know how old I think she's supposed to be, like, in her mid-20s, late 20s, past like the age. But, like, she's also not of like the class that they really, and we're also getting closer to the turn of the century, where they don't worry so much about, like, it is age, like, if you're like over 23, you're on the fucking shelf. But for the upper classes, I don't know how much that's still happening in the middle classes, because they're just, there's no opportunity to be kind of picky like that. So and plus, like, most of the time, some of the time, like, especially if you're in the middle class, your husband might be a police officer, or he might be, like, something, like, in trade, where, he might not make, like, if he's working as a police officer, he might not make it, he might die. So then you're a widow at 30, so, that kind of thing. And so, while they're talking, while Ivy's scolding her for being at home, Henry comes in, he's like, what the fuck are you doing home? Pretty much to Eliza. And she's like, yeah, but the dog died. He's like, yeah, like a year ago. Like, and you haven't, what? And so, then Will comes in, all cleaned up and looking all cute. And they feed him dinner, but Henry makes Eliza go down to feed William. She doesn't know how to cook. She still doesn't know how to cook in present day, Eliza, but she doesn't know how to cook. So she goes down there and, like, cuts the thickest slice of ham. I want to say it's like this thick, and just throws it. Doesn't give him any utensils. He's like, can I have something to cut this with? And, like, I don't exactly know why she's... I don't know. I don't know why she's so... They're interrogating each other. Like, she's like immediately, like, pissy with him, and he's not taking any of her, like, snooty shit either. And so William leaves at this point, before Henry can talk with him. And Ivy tells Eliza, like, you need to go back to school. You need to find your own way, because your dad is running out of money. Like, what was left for your mother is starting to dwindle, and we can't live on just a police detective salary alone. And like Ivy has pretty much come in and been like her second mom. Like, I don't think anything's going on with her and Mr. Scarlet. I don't think so. But like, you can tell that like she takes care of both of them. Like, you know, a sister to him and a mom to Eliza. And so they decide, Ivy and Henry decide that Mrs. Parker, we all remember Mrs. Parker, is going to take over on Eliza's education, pretty much. So she's going to put her through the society hoops to jump through, you know? And so also at the same time, she's still from Jump Street, it still has her eye on Eliza for Rupert, because Rupert, as we know, is gay, but she doesn't know that, and we know that by the end of the first season. But I guess he talks to Mrs. Parker about Eliza because he knows that she's a good person and he's not attracted to her, but she feels like he knows that she's not attracted to him and doesn't want anything to do with him. So he figures that she's a good, well, we call it a beard today, but it's deflection. Nothing's ever gonna happen. No hands are going below the belt on either, in either case. So he feels safe with where he's got somebody on his side. So she arranges for Eliza to go to this birthday party. I'm like, God, that sounds awful. The way the woman, oh yeah. And at the same time, Eliza's trying to, something comes up in a conversation where Eliza's like, hey, wait, this sounds very interesting. This sounds like a mystery. And so she hopes to, she knows that by going to this party with Rupert, she's not going to be able to get a chance to go and do snooping like she wants to. So William's back, staying at the house, and she's like, hey, William, I'm so sorry that I was mean to you the other night. My dad's going to be out of the house, but he wanted you to go to this party with me. And he's like, I don't fucking have a suit or anything. She's like, don't worry, no worries, because my uncle was staying here about a month ago or so, and I think he could wear his clothes. And I was thinking to myself, because Will comes down in a full ass suit. He comes in dress black, evening dress, and I'm like, was your uncle going out on the town that much when he was here? I mean, he's okay. I mean, it's cool, but all right. And it fits him like a glove. And they're very attracted to one another. Eliza and Will are feeling it. So they go to the party, and poor Rupert, but Rupert doesn't fucking care. He goes off and he starts talking to a group of dudes, all dudes. And I'm like, we even know now, don't we? And Eliza kind of has that same idea. But they get to the party, and let's see, sorry. I've got notes. And so this is where William breaks it down and kind of tells her why Henry wants to talk with him. And it's because of a murder. And there's some things that are happening. She gets some clues after visiting the same house. It's the Harper Jones house. That's the daughter that's having the birthday. I can't think of her name. Doesn't fucking matter. You never meet her. But her brother is this Thomas Harper Jones, and the day before it's decided that she's going to come to this party, she's meeting with Mrs. Harper Jones and Mrs. Parker, and they're having this conversation, and at one point they learned that their driver has been let go, and that kind of sparks something with Eliza, that's weird. And so this kind of starts the mystery, and there is a connection between the brother, Thomas Harper Jones, and the dead policeman, or former policeman. And I think, honestly, there's so much, it is a very meaty murder mystery on this one, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I will bring it back to the end real quick, because she's now packing to go back to school, and at the same time, Will has come in to tell her that he talked with Henry, and Henry's going to support him becoming a police detective. And Eliza just fucking loses it because her own father won't support her. And yes, but William's found a place to stay, and they end up kissing. And because she starts crying and he's just trying to comfort her, and they end up kissing, but Eliza leaves. And then, because I gotta tell you this, because it'll lead up to the next episode, William wakes up at the very end, and it's very sweet. And he's kind of like, I want some, give me something to drink. And she's like, water, here's some water. He says, no, I need something stronger, like whiskey. It's very, very cute. But she's like at the mouth when he rouses. He's kind of like, oh my god, thank god, blah, blah, blah. And she's crying, and it is very sweet and very emotional. So the murder mystery is very, very meaty. It's a really good one, I have to say. I thought it was pretty well done. And it goes a place that you never thought it was going to go. But the way, and what I love about this one, I'm going to spoil just a little bit, is that Eliza fucking figures it out and takes matters into her own hands, like she always does. But in this one, it is very important, I think, that she's the one who figures it out, that she puts the pieces together. All right. So again, I want to say the fucking performances in this are fucking brilliant. Both the kids playing kids. I mean, well, they're probably like young adults, maybe almost adults. I don't know. You can never tell with like, the person playing young Eliza, Laura Marcus, and I want to see what other stuff she's been in. And then the young William is Matt Olson. And let me see what Laura has done before this. Probably not a lot, again, because she's probably not that old. No, she's little. Like, she looks like she's very young. A lot of stuff on the BBC I've never heard of. So there we go. She was in Tom Jones, the miniseries Tom Jones, which I assume was on the BBC. Actually, I kind of wanted to see that. Somebody was in there that was exciting. Who was in there that was exciting? Was it not? It's Hannah Waddingham. She was in that. That's why I wanted to watch it. And then Marcus Olson, literally this is it. This is his first thing, and he was great. So, spot on, guys. Good job, PBS Mystery. Or it would be the BBC, but whatever. So, yeah, I mean, if I had to give this one a grade, I'd probably give it a B+. Yeah, I'd probably give it a B+. It definitely reinforces the "you still want to get it on" at some point subplot that we're all waiting for. And then next week, we're back in the present. So it's pretty great. Like, I thought it was I'm so glad we got to see this, because it's been hinted at for 3 seasons. I'm so glad we finally got this piece, and I know where we're headed. So just enjoy this part for right now. All right. You can find us a whole bunch of different places. We just finished a review on Girls with Bad Reputations from Zio Axelrod. And that was a brilliant book. It just came out today, the 6th. Make sure what day it was. Yeah, so we'll have that review up. And then we're starting to actually put some of our episodes here on YouTube. So enjoy those. We've decided, lucky you, that we're going to be starting to do video podcasts. I know you're so excited about it. You can follow us at a whole bunch of different places. Like and subscribe if you like this video, if you want to see more. We only have 4 more episodes to go, so I believe, no, we have 3 more episodes to go. I apologize. Yep, we are halfway through. All right, and I'll try to decide what I'm going to do after that. From me here at the Chick Lit Book Club podcast, this has been Watch with Ray, with me, Ray. Happy reading.